What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our first Anfield Agenda news roundup of 2025. It still feels weird saying 2025, but that is where we were at. I can't believe it's 20 years now since Istanbul. Well, 20 years this May, but wow, the years are flying along. So look, I'm not going to hang around today because there's a lot of news stories to get through. And I'm not going to give you my opinion in this piece. I'm simply just going to go through and round up all the news stories. If you do want to know my opinion and of course share your own, then we will be live tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. And I hope you guys can join us for that, the first one of the new year. And fair to say, we've got a lot to catch up on. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to start off with a report from the Echo and Paul Gorst. And they say, Liverpool are braced for interest in Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold to be stepped up as clubs from across the world of football now circle over the potential pre-contract agreements. Next up again from Paul Gorst of the Echo, we have, it's understood Liverpool remain locked in negotiations with the representatives of all three players. With no agreements yet in place, the prospect of them leaving as free agents later this year remains in play as things stand. A little bit of stating the obvious there really from Mr. Paul Gorst in the Echo, but that's okay. But let's keep moving because as we go along, you'll see the story start to evolve. Next up is from our own social media, Anfield Agenda. We posted this to say that Paris Saint-Germain want to sign Mohamed Salah this summer and are offering him a 3-year contract worth €500,000 per week, which is not too far away from the offer Liverpool have on the table for him, which is about £350,000 or €400,000 a week. So they go on to say that Liverpool have reportedly only offered Salah a 2-year deal, and maybe that will be where the sticking point is. So PSG, despite what they've said previously from the president about not really making a play for Mo, apparently are waiting with a 3-year €500,000 per week offer. Next from David Ornstein, and this is about Virgil van Dijk and Mo. David Ornstein said that Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk are both expected to extend the Liverpool stay by a further 2 years, which would be brilliant. That would be the news that we'd be all waiting for. Get those two boxed off and then we'll see what happens with Trent. That would be absolutely magnificent. I did say I wasn't going to give you my take on them, but you know, the happy stuff, I'm happy to just say that would be great, wouldn't it? Next up from Chris Bascom, and he said Real Madrid are prepared to pay £20 million for Trent Alexander-Arnold in January. And of course the question I'm going to ask you guys now watching is, would you take that £20 million in January? Remember I said to you guys last night we had a poll on the channel and it was really firmly split between sell him in January for a substantial amount of money or keep playing him for the remainder of the campaign. It was really split. I think there was 1 percentage point between the two answers. Next up, and this is coming from the Spanish side now, this is from Jorge C. Picon, who said, all that remains for Trent Alexander-Arnold signing for Madrid is the signature. Something that could happen in the first days of January. Now, look, we could all talk about this. I could say all that remains for me to weigh 12 stone is the weight loss. It's not that hard, but it's also a bit of a nothing piece, and this is what we're going to see, I'm afraid. Madrid aren't going to sit back. They're going to be very proactive, manipulative in the media, as you would expect from them, and let's see how it all pans out. Another one this time from the same journalist said, optimism in Madrid regarding the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation is high. They aim to finalise an agreement with him as soon as possible to avoid any last-minute surprises. Now, I guess the question that I would have for you guys is, do you think it would be feasible, let's say, for Trent to continue to maintain his silence and to play on for the remainder of the season without anybody in the public view knowing what Trent wants to do, whether he is going to continue to negotiate with Liverpool or whether he perhaps has an agreement with Madrid? Would you be okay with him staying quiet on it as the months go by? I think it's an interesting question, and again, I really would love to know your answer. Right, Omar Marmoush, let's talk a little bit about him, and I have to say this one kind of caught me off guard a little bit because I don't know if I believe it or not, but we'll see what you guys think. This coming from Sky Sports, who say, an update has emerged on Liverpool's reported interest in signing Eintracht Frankfurt star Omar Marmoush. According to Sky Sports, the Reds are the interest in Liverpool signing him, and the reports of it are wide of the mark despite the related links. They go on to say that he scored 18 goals and had 12 assists in all competitions for Eintracht Frankfurt this season, and that's certainly a long way away from other reports that we've seen and many things that I've heard and been told personally as well. So I guess we'll find out. Arsenal are another name who've been linked with Omar Marmoush, and if they need a striker, probably far more than we do. So let's see if they make a move in January, or if Omar Marmoush will still be there for somebody to try and sign next summer. So back on again to Melissa Reddy speaking about Trent Alexander-Arnold, and this is what Melissa had to say. Real Madrid wouldn't have made an approach to Liverpool for Trent Alexander-Arnold without encouragement from the player's end. Again, this kind of following on from what Michael Owen and Jamie Carragher and many others have had to say about it. It's important to underline that that doesn't mean he wants to leave in January. Very specific last sentence. Not that he doesn't want to leave, but that he doesn't want to leave in January. And the final piece here, this again posted by Anfield Sector, crediting Melissa Reddy. This piece here said, Alexander-Arnold is in the middle of a negotiation and it benefits him to have Real Madrid showing their hand, to have Liverpool fight for him, for his boyhood club to know Real's intentions and make him an offer worth considering. That last line for me, and many people in my Discord group as well that we've been speaking to about this, that last line is an interesting one. Make Trent an offer worth considering. Does this perhaps suggest that Liverpool are cheaping out? That the offers on the table for Virgil, for Mohamed and for Trent maybe are all far short of the expectations of the players in their camps? Again, we aren't inside these negotiations, so we don't know, but somebody's briefing somebody here, and just to read out this sentence to you again, Melissa said, Alexander-Arnold's in the middle of a negotiation and it benefits him to have Real show their hand, to have Liverpool fight for him, and for his boyhood club to know Real's intentions and make him an offer worth considering. Now look, that is the best case scenario for me, that Trent is leveraging it, and if he leverages it and gets it and he signs on, I think we'll all be happy. But again, we do want to know what you guys think about the whole Trent Alexander-Arnold situation, and of course what Melissa Reddy and the other journalists have had to say. Now that's just a flavour of some of the articles that have been doing the rounds today. You can expect a lot more of this as the month goes on, and I understand people are already fatigued of it. I am as well, if I'm being honest with you, but I can't not report these things because as a fan account and a fan channel, this is my place to do it. So it's over to everybody else to make up their minds on it. What I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on, though, outside of the contract negotiations, is the Omar Marmoush story. What you guys think about that one, I would be very intrigued by, because it kind of caught me off guard, as I mentioned. That is pretty much it for me for this early news roundup and the first one of 2025. As I mentioned, I will be back tonight at 8:45 with the late night agenda. We'll know the result of the Arsenal-Brentford game at that point as well, and I hope you guys can come along and join us for the first stream of the new year. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and hit the like button. As you can see, we've gone past 290,000 subscribers. As always, we wouldn't have been able to do it without your help, so thank you for that. And I'll catch up with you tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.